Aloha friends and family, Parker Paredes here with Wizard Hawaii. Tonight we have a special guest. She's home from college, she's visiting her family, she's here for the holidays. Tonight we have Tristan Nitta of Mililani. Tristan Nitta was the 2002 OIA and Hawaii State Champion in wrestling. She was a 2021 OIA champion and runner-up at the state. In 2022, she was a Fargo All-American. And that same year, she also was the Freak Show champion. We want to welcome Tristan Nitta. Tristan, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. Awesome. Thank you for coming out tonight, Tristan.
Thank you.
So, tell me, Tristan, you're a standout high school wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, and you made your way. You transitioned to college. Tell me about that. Tell me about your first year leaving Hawaii. How was that experience?
So I think the roughest part for me transitioning was like big cultural shock for me because I love home and I'm very homegrown. I love the Aina, the food,
yes,
and the people here. And I think transitioning to the mainland for college is really different for me because it's not the same. And like the way I grew up, I was raised to like show a lot of respect. And I think going to college, being away from my family, really was like a big impact on me because it made me like miss home more.
Sure.
And I was missing family a lot, and I think that was like hard on me.
Yeah.
But I just had to like remember why I was there.
Yeah.
And like how I wanted to pursue wrestling and take it farther into college.
Right. You're going through it right now, right? You're going through the transition.
Yeah.
You have wrestling to fall back on. You have the training to fall back on. That resonates with me because, you know, when I went to college, it was that first month away from home.
Yeah.
All you can think about is home, right?
Yeah, it's always tough.
Yeah. It's really hard. But once you get over that hump, you realize that you're with a bunch of people that have the same values as you. They like to work hard. They all love wrestling. So you surround yourself with good people.
Yes.
Awesome. So tell me, training, wrestling, showing up to camp, meeting all these new girls. How has it been? I mean, was it shocking? Was the wrestling shocking for you? Was the speed shocking? Tell me about that.
I think the girls were really amazing. Like bringing it to a college level is great because you're competing with like all these girls that are like studs.
Yeah.
And they're always striving to get better.
Right.
And they're looking to improve. And that's kind of like how I've always been. I've been wanting to get better and be like consistent in a lot of the things I do. And like having a good environment and like all the girls around me is what like also helps bring and uplift me.
Sure. So you're a state champion, obviously, in Hawaii, which means for your year that you were the best in the state at your weight. Are you surrounded by girls that are also some of the top in their weight classes from their respective areas? Tell me about that.
Yes, I did. The girls that I competed with, they're good.
Yeah.
And they do work hard, and like even my teammates around me, they always supported me and I always supported them, and like just being around like more girls wrestling has been like really good for me because growing up I always had to wrestle like boys.
Right.
And like it wasn't the same versus now they have a lot of like growing athletes and like girls growing in the program.
Sure.
And I think it's like really amazing to experience all that and having it go to the high school level and then the college level.
Yeah. I can see that. When you say, again, you're contrasting the high school level to the collegiate level, tell me, what are the biggest differences? Like, you've competed now both at the high school and the collegiate level on a bigger stage. Yes. What are the differences in the wrestling?
A lot of the things in college, I think a lot of it is on your own also. Like, you have to want to get better and like do things on your own. Since college, you'll be more independent, you're an adult now. So you have to be consistent in the things you want to do and remember why you're there.
Right.
And I think also the big changes is like, since Hawaii is kind of small, a lot of the girls, there's not like a lot of girls wrestling. But coming to college, there's a lot of girls from the mainland that have a lot of experience in wrestling too.
Right.
That have been competing and like traveling out of states. And I think that's harder for Hawaii girls to experience just because we're on an island and we're always going to have to travel and expenses, things like that.
Yeah.
So I think they have the experience, and then just wrestling with girls that's on the higher level, it's really great like, to be able to challenge yourself and wrestle with others around you.
Right. No, definitely. I would say that a lot of people agree that in Hawaii we do have a great amount of talent here, but we are because we're spatially isolated,
Yeah.
we're away from the continental U.S.
Yeah.
We only have so many people. We have 1 million on Oahu compared to, that's just a neighborhood in some of the bigger cities in the North America. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think numbers are working against us in terms of being able to see a wide variety of athletes, but you got to travel. Tell me about that. Your dad, you guys traveled together as a family when you were in high school. You got to go to all these different tournaments. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Usually, I think traveling is really helpful because being able to go to like Fargo, I went my freshman year, and even though I didn't place, I was able to experience like these mainland girls. I was like able to like keep up and bang with them.
Sure.
And even if I took losses, they weren't really like losses. It's always just like a learning experience.
Yeah.
And I think being able to compete with them really helps you in the end because you can always see and there's space for improvement. So I think being able to experience going out and feeling different girls instead of like always at the same tournaments you're wrestling the same girls.
Yeah.
It's good to get different feels for sure.
Definitely. Different feels. You say you could bang with them. Tell me about what you have in your arsenal, in your quiver of moves that worked well in high school that also work well in college. Like, what are you doing? I see some of the videos you do a lot of your head and arm takedown. Tell me about that.
So growing up, did judo too. Did judo and wrestling, and I think since Hawaii has judo, especially high school judo, it helps a lot. So when you go up to the mainland, most of the girls, some of them aren't really used to that.
Right.
So Hawaii girls can take that as an advantage.
Nice.
And get into it. But yeah, there's a lot of hand fighting, and I think that's a big thing. I always worked underhooks and like 2-on-1s, and they really do preach that in college because hand fighting is key, and that will like set up shots and create openings for you.
Cool.
So I think that's a big thing.
Hand fighting, underhook, whizzers,
Yes.
whizzer Hawaii.
Yeah.
So tell me, the training, the conditioning, big differences, or were you ready for that, or was it a shocking thing? Tell me about your experience so far.
Not really a shocking thing. I kind of expected it, but the way that they structure it is kind of different. Like preseason is where you'll get more of your conditioning with like running. So we did a lot of running, preseasoning, sprints, getting your cardio up.
Okay.
And then when we got in season, we did more live goes.
Okay.
And that's like the actual wrestling conditioning that you need.
Sure.
Like that's something that was like really different. Because in high school we would do like just shorter goals, like shorter live goals.
Yeah.
But in college we were doing like whole matches, like 6-minute goals, and then we'll do 15.
Oh wow.
Sometimes we'll
so
do
you guys
like
push beyond what a normal match would be.
sometimes we do like 30-minute like play wrestling.
Wow.
And yeah, I think
And those are tiring, even though it's play wrestling, it's killing you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just gotta keep moving. That's why I think that's some of the big differences. Yeah.
Awesome, Tristan. So
Thank you.
let's talk about the elephant in the room, the thing that all of us as wrestlers or grapplers hate, cutting weight. Yeah, so tell me about your weight journey. What are you wrestling at now? What did you wrestle in high school? What does cutting weight look like in college compared to high school?
So in high school, I was lighter. I wrestled 102.
Okay.
But since it was like Christmas time and after like that, we had the 2-pound allowance, which made it 104. So it wasn't like horrible like cut for me. So I would always walk around like probably like 106, 107, and then eventually I would get down. So during high school, whenever I cut weight, I would cut the water weight and then still like be a little bit under. So I was able to eat dinner and stuff before and eat a little bit of breakfast the day of weigh-in, so I would have energy. So I'm not like completely depleted from my body.
Sure.
And then I would feel good and better like wrestling the next day, even though I was a lighter weight class. But in college, I bulked a little bit over summer. And then when I went into college, I was already weighing like kind of heavier.
Okay.
And the only time I made really 101 or 100 was Fargo. And that was like a day before weigh-ins.
Okay.
So you have time to
So you could
replenish
beef
your
up.
body.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But in college, they're going to have same day weigh-ins, so you'll have less time, maybe like 2 hours or even less time to replenish. So I think that weight cut wasn't really realistic for me to go down back to 101. And I think since I'm like growing and my body's maturing, I think 109 was a better option. But if I did want to get down, I think in college you would have to diet more and be strict on yourself. And then it's you have to cut the water weight, and usually you just don't drink or eat the night before.
Sure.
And then the morning of, and then you wait till you weigh in, and then you replenish again.
Tell me, Tristan, at the collegiate level, is the coach in charge of your weight cut, or do you guys have a nutritionist? Is there a team with that whole deal? Like, what are the resources available to you guys to help make sure it's a safe weight cut for you guys?
We have nutritionists.
Okay.
We have nutritionists, and our coaches help us, and we have an amazing facility, like
Nice.
a wrestling room, and then just workout equipment. And our nutritionist helps us. We have meal plans, and then we have all our macros set, so we have to just consistently keep reaching that. And then usually that's when your weight will fluctuate and start to go down.
Okay.
And then when our coaches they'll help us to stay on track. They'll keep reminding us, and then we have to be disciplined and making sure we're getting our extra workouts in, and they help us. They'll leave the room open if we need to go.
Nice.
And then do what we need to do in the wrestling room, get a sweat in, and keep
Right on.
run. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Final question here, Tristan. If you were to give just a few key pieces of advice for some young Hawaii girls that are coming up in high school right now that want to be collegiate wrestlers, because as we know, female wrestling is one of the fastest growing sports in the nation. What are some key pieces of advice that you would share with them on their journey?
I'd say if you start wrestling, stick to it, because wrestling in general is life-changing. I think it can really shape you as a person and your morals in a way, because wrestling is humbling and it just teaches you a lot. So I say stick with it, but also enjoy wrestling, because you don't want to be burnt out and
Right.
not enjoy the sport anymore, because you want to want to compete, and
Yeah.
then you want to get better. And I think a lot of girls lose that if they don't enjoy the sport. So
Sure.
I think just make sure you love it yourself, and you keep competing, you keep wanting to get better. And even if you don't feel motivated, it's just about consistency. And I think that's what a lot of Hawaii girls should do. They should stick to wrestling and enjoy it, because if you enjoy it and you keep pursuing it, it can take you places.
Sure.
And you get the experience.
Awesome, awesome. Tristan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
and
having
we
me.
wish you luck from
Thank you.
Hawaii Judo Academy, Wizard Hawaii. We wish you luck. You're far away from home in Grandview, Iowa, but
Yeah.
we'll be supporting you and rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
Take care,
Thank
Tristan. Aloha. Friends and family at home, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We're honored to have spent time with Miss Tristan Nitta. We wish her luck. She's going to be going back to Grandview, Iowa here pretty soon, and we'll be rooting for her when she's there. Ahui ho. Until next time, see you on the mat. Aloha.